Sacred code is supernatural and cosmic. It bridges starseed origins, galactic contact, and remembrance. DNA activation, soul memory, psychic development, intuition, timeline shifting, and manifestation, ancient wisdom, modern consciousness, and real-world embodiment. It's where the supernatural becomes natural again. It's not fantasy, not an escape, but as a powerful tool to be used, as a powerful truth to be understood. The reason you are called here is not because you're here to follow. You're here to remember who you are. Your soul carries the code. This space simply helps you unlock them safely, clearly, and powerfully. You're not broken, and you're not late. You're not imagining it. You're remembering. Welcome to the Sacred Code.
Hey!
Hi, you guys.
Very nice. Very nice.
Look who's with us. Mr.
Yes.
Michal Carter.
Yes. It's good to be here. Thanks for having me back.
Well, thanks for joining us, my friend.
Mark, I didn't know which Mark they were talking about. But yeah, I haven't seen you in 100 years either.
I know it's been 2 years since we've seen each other. It was UFO Contact Convention 2 years ago.
Yep.
Well, it's time then. And welcome home, Michael.
Yes,
It is.
I'm glad to be home.
Yes.
The prodigal son returns.
Yes.
It's a crazy world out there. I had to come back home.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes. You're always welcome home. You're always welcome home. Yeah.
2 years later, 2 years older, but I'm back.
And what perfect timing, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's always
here
perfect.
to do his wonderful stuff today.
I'm back.
I'm so excited.
Mary, your hair is long.
It is. It's gotten quite long.
Oh my God.
Yeah, a lot longer than last time you saw it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, Michael, you did like the first 58 shows with us on the Voices of Contact, I think. 58 or 59 shows. Yeah, you did. You did that many shows with us. So.
Well, I'm happy and I'm glad to be here. And Mark, it's good to see you. I was like, Mark, who's Mark? I don't think I know Mark. Yeah, but yeah. And I'm looking forward to hearing what you and your friends have to say.
Right. I'm always excited to hear.
I could use a little help. I could use a little help down here in North Carolina, brother. It gets a little crazy down here.
It's not much different here.
I won't get into it, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
You know what I'm talking about. These brothers are crazy, and they mean it.
So this one's exciting. Mark, we have you on. We have you on because you have an amazing gift, an amazing, entity and companion that you work with. So we are hoping that we might be able to get you to talk a little bit about it, and we can get him to come on through and we can ask him some questions. Are you game?
Totally game. Yeah. You lead and I'll follow.
So first, I would like to introduce Zeke. So tell us a little bit about Zeke.
Okay.
Or Zeke can tell us about himself.
Yeah. However you want to go about it, I can explain it in my perspective, and then while I'm channeling, you can ask him whatever and see what he says. I only know what I channel and come through due to what other people ask him and talk to him through. And then when I get to re-listen to the episodes or my channeling session, I get to put all of it together. Because usually with Zeke, all right, so let me go back because I'm jumping forward. So Zeke is a being that, in my perspective, has taken me 7 times through my life. And he's worked with me in my spirit through multiple different versions of me, many versions of different lives that I'm living in during the time. And I guess my soul and him, and when I say him, I am going to say it in a sense of like, I feel that he's worked with me in many other lives as well, kind of doing similar things in what he did for me in this life. So I kind of look at him almost like a guide as well, just because he is pretty much guiding me through this matrix and helping me get through my life. And I guess like for him and I, like we signed, well, not like sign a contract, but it's in a sense, it's like a contract signing of like, we both came and agreed to come here to have these types of experiences. And since I have an agreement where I came here to help a lot of people, now he's doing his side of things of like, well, let's try, if this is what you're going to do and you're going with your agreement, then let's help you get to that. So he's more or less trying to help guide me and teach me through his teachings, pretty much how to ascend to a higher vibration. It's hard to find words to explain this.
Yeah, it's on a different frequency, right?
Yeah. Yes. And so through that, I just I try to practice what he teaches me, and all the time through the months and years that I've been kind of going through all of this, I've been I just picking up my abilities. They're heightening more. They're more in tune, I guess, with what I do. And it's, I don't know, just my abilities have just been growing. And there's moments where I look back, I'm like, what the heck is happening with me right now? Because so much has been going on, and it's just happening so fast. So I'm just kind of trusting the process and just going with it.
Sounds good. Sounds very good.
Yeah, I'm grateful that you do, because these sessions with Zeke are amazing and we always learn something. So I'm super excited. I think all of us are to connect with one and be able to.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
you just radiated. You just radiated. You're beautiful. You look. You know what I mean? I can feel it. I can feel it, and that's the deal, right? It's your frequency. You changed. I mean, I didn't know you before, but you've always been kind of up and open and curious and all those good things. So I'm happy for you, and it's good. It's good to see you after 2 years and see you doing this.
Yeah, in your perspective, since you haven't really seen me like grow in the last couple of years, now you get to like see like I guess everything like almost how my journey has been over the last couple of years, because I too have to take a moment to like sit back. Like I just did a session, my channeling session with Ray, and that kind of expanded my mind a little bit and helped me kind of like regroup with like what I've done over the last couple of years. Like it kind of reminded me like, hey, you've grown a lot over the last couple of years, even though it doesn't feel like I have, because things have been kind of just happening so rapidly. I don't really give myself time to like look back and be like, hey, wow, I really grew a lot. I should really give myself some grace on these moments and not give myself so much hard time. But then again, I'm like, my other side, I'm like, come on, let's go. Like, I want to keep going and keep ascending and keep doing all the things because it's fun. But man, it's finding that balance in between it. It's so hard.
Important. It's important that you take care of yourself as a channel. It really is.
For sure.
You look at the channels through history. Like Edgar Casey and even Helen Schuckman, who did Course in Miracles. I mean, you know, you got all that energy coming through you. You really want to take care of your
Vessel.
this is your vessel. So yeah. And you will. I mean, you're not crazy. You'll do it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm doing my best. I mean, there's times where, I have my hard days, like we all do, and we lose our tempers at times, and we do all the things, right?
Yeah.
And it's crazy because it's like when you are in this type of field, you always are hard on yourself because you want to do good for others, you want to be a good image for others, so you're a lot more difficult on yourself, like, hey, you can't be like this, you can't do this. And then there's times where you're kind of holding back on emotions, which isn't good and not healthy. So it's hard finding that balance. And I've been doing a lot better finding that balance. But I've also noticed, like, looking back and taking those moments of like seeing how much I've grown, I've had to let go of a lot of my older version that, was still lingering, like the old programs that I had running that just doesn't work for where I'm going. And it's letting those parts of me go is hard because you have to face certain versions of you that you may not want to face at that moment, but it helps you face them and make those choices. Do you either want to keep moving forward, or do you want to hold this weight that was from your past and carrying it forward when it's not needed? So it's been definitely a learning process as I've been going. But I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's been a lot.
All right. So my first question for Zeke is, what can he tell us about ascension?
Okay. Do you want me to start going? You want me to go into a channeled state now and just start?
Yeah.
Go for it.
All right.
If you feel
All right.
comfortable. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Totally. All right. Just give me like 20, 30 seconds. Good afternoon.
Welcome, Zeke.
Thank you. How may I service you today?
Want to repeat
Hi,
that
Zeke.
question there?
Yeah.
Hello.
Zeke, the first question we have is, what are your thoughts on ascension?
Ascension. Ascension happens in many layers, in many forms. Right now on Earth, everyone is ascending in their own way. Everyone is finishing and touching up on timelines that's not needed. Finishing and touching up on choices and decisions moving forward on where they want to align themselves. Things are wrapping up as the alignment of your stars are starting to form and put everybody in a frequency state for those to be able to vibrate where they must be in their journey. We all came here to play the parts, and we're coming to a final session where we are all going to see an image, a full image of what we've all collectively have done. We have all been growing in our own way, but ascension is what we are all going to go through and all collectively be able to do together, learning from one another, growing with one another. Ascension is everything that Earth has to give at this moment. It is beautiful and scary for those that don't understand it. But from a higher perspective, seeing through what you've all done, you should all be very grateful and thankful that you were able to make it as long as you have, but also to give yourself a moment to understand that through your own ascension, we have all been growing and doing very well, almost as though similar to what Mark was telling you. We have all been growing in our own ways, and ascension is part of that.
Thank you. Everybody kind of agree with that a little bit? I mean, a whole lot? Or disagree? Or I think that was pretty spot on. That was nice. So
I agree. So my next question for you, Zeke, is do you feel with this ascension, that's why we have so much contact with extraterrestrials?
The ascension isn't necessarily about extraterrestrials. It's about you. It's about self. It's about you as an individual learning in this hologram, learning from your experiences, learning from all of the senses that your vessel gives you, learning from all of your emotions, experiences as a whole. That is all what this ascension is mostly for, to help one another, to love one another. But to love one another is to be able to love their self. Loving yourself is the most important thing, but the only way to love yourself is to see your true self as who you truly are. So right now, ET being in or around or among you during this time, we are only here to watch, to observe, to cheer you on, and also help when needed or when asked. Right now, you are in a very important stage of your ascension. So as of right now, we are only limiting ourselves by not coming through, but only to just show a version of Earth that some people have forgotten or that some people may not feel comfortable with due to maybe an old program that they have been running, maybe due to their belief system that they want to hold because of comfortability. We are only stepping in very lightly in order for people to be ready when that time comes, when we are among you openly. As of right now, this ascension is very finicky if we step in too far and too quick. So you will slowly see us being a presence. You will see us from afar. You will feel us among you. There's going to be a lot of individual contacts because disclosure starts with all of us individually, not as a big collective. And how to turn down the notch on understanding that as an individual, we all have a program that we are running, a main program, the program that helps you see and sense all of your senses in this physical hologram that you are living. In order to understand what you are going to go through, you have to understand everything as a whole, but to do so, you have to understand all of the layers on what's going on within. Right now, you are only understanding the 3D physical hologram that you are experiencing, but us coming in, you are seeing another form of this reality. There are multi-layered functions going on at the very moment, and we are only very slowly trying to help you guys see other versions of Earth. So then everybody can equally start asking the right questions and start opening themselves individually to a more higher vibration by asking certain things to get certain answers that might expand your mind to a higher form, or to expand your mind that there are more to life than what you have thought and what you have believed. Everything is coming together. We just have to do this all in a way where we are not taking anything away from you, but we are allowing you guys to grow as how you all came to see fit. All we are doing is just gently nudging you in the direction that you guys are already going.
You know, Michael, I seen you nod your head earlier, and I think that's important. That when he said that this is not just all about UFOs and extraterrestrials, because disclosure it's like you said, multi-layered. I mean, it's all kinds of things in disclosure that even don't deal with extraterrestrials. But and I think that's the beauty of it. It's much more than we label it. So that was very well put. I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Labels are a very troubling thing when it comes to humans. Humans have a construct which is just part of their program. Now, programs come from everywhere. They come from the people that you talk to, the entertainment that is in front of you. Everything has a program within it. The intent of the creation that you are watching due to a movie, the creation from the movie came from someone, and that person is basically painting a very vivid video-like picture frame of what they see and how they perceive their story that they are giving you. Within that story, there's always truth. All stories have some form of truth behind it. When you, as one individual, hear someone else's story, you take their program onto your own by giving your own a truth from what you've gotten from them. But a lot of people, well, most humans, usually have a very hard time with this concept. Labeling things, boxing things. Instead of expanding your mind, you minimalize it by setting labels and boxes within certain frames that's not needed. But it's usually done out of comfortability because most people have a very hard time expanding their mind to something that is unknown. So in order for us to help people expand their mind into that unknown is to give them the curiosity to do so.
Thank you for that. Well put. Yeah, humans tend to try to categorize things because we're trying to simplify things, but at the same time, that kind of limits us to other things. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yes.
Humans are very limited right now, at least. Okay. But as you are ramping up your speed of ascension, so will everything else. So within as without. Everything starts within. As everybody starts doing their inner work, as everybody starts understanding their true self, by facing those sides that might not be so comfortable to do so, by understanding those versions of you that you have once forgotten, understanding those versions that are still healing, understanding the versions that you once loved, that maybe you don't love so much right now. And that is all part of the healing process. It is all part of understanding the programs that are running. There are so many different programs that are running in someone's mind that sometimes people tend to forget what is really there. Sometimes what Mark usually says, a trigger in your experience when you have someone say or do something that causes this trigger within yourself, Those triggers are mainly for you to learn from. Those are part of your lesson. Your emotional body has to feel everything that you are experiencing in order for you to understand and gain the lesson that's there. Without that, there is no lesson. You are only going to simply avoid what is really important. And so that way, we tend to help or guide by giving people the information to understand that it all starts within. Aligning your thoughts, words, actions, your emotions, by making sure that when you tune all of that together, you then can understand what's happening within you, understanding the program that's happening during that moment. Once you understand the program, you can then pick and choose what is running and what isn't, putting some asleep. Some programs don't need to be running at that moment. Sometimes a simple sleep mode on maybe a thought or something that's been bothering you lately, just in order for you to focus on what you're trying to do. Grounding yourself, recentering yourself. That is a very simple way of raising your vibration to a frequency in order for you to hear us much better.
Very good. So, can we all ask something of Zeke?
You may.
Thank you. So, Zeke, could you tell me, there's a lot of fear right now among some with disclosure. Do humans have reason to fear disclosure?
I will answer this question and word it in this way. Because if I answer it in a way, in my perspective, that it may not come on as a very polite manner. So I will explain it this way. We all individually are right now going through this ascension. ET especially, everybody, we are all experiencing this ascension. As you are all growing, we are all growing. This is all one big giant thing that everyone is experiencing. Now, with the fear that everybody has, we are all individually going through this in our own way. As Mark is going through it, he may be going through it differently than you, maybe differently than everybody. But it doesn't mean that he or you or another person might be wrong or right on the way things are going. We are all going in the same direction, just different paths, different journeys, different experiences. We all have our own puzzle piece to play. So therefore, we have to all individually grow to our full potential in our own individual way. Because everyone individually, we all have a different way of seeing the world. We all have a different perspective of what is and isn't, or what should or shouldn't. Therefore, when we answer this type of question, we can't necessarily speak over that, because everybody has their own fears. Everybody has their own perspective. So how to answer this, we will say this in a sense where maybe while those are suffering fear, maybe we should all face those fears. Face the fears and understanding where that comes from. Usually that comes from a program that doesn't need to be going where we're going. Maybe that program is causing a fear, which is an unalignment within you, an unalignment of where you are going. Why don't you ask yourself, why are you fearing on where you're going? Are you going to a direction that you are comfortable with. If not, then maybe it is time to start adjusting what's happening in your life as an individual. But as a collective, what I can say is that there is community. There are others that are going through similar experiences as you. As you go through all of your life experiences as an individual, you share that. As you love yourself, you are showing love for others. As you share your experiences, you are giving others one perspective, your puzzle piece. And now they can give you their puzzle piece by sharing their experiences, by sharing their journey, by talking through their emotions. We get our own validation through ourselves. Sometimes a helping hand of others can go a long way. But the only way you're going to get that help is when you start helping yourself, speaking out, doing your side of things. Because if you shy away from the world and shy away only due to the fears that you have from the change that's to come, then all you are doing is failing your own self by not feeling out what is true. So what is true? Ask yourself that question, because only you can answer that.
Thank you, Zeke. That was wonderful. Anybody else?
Zeke, why do you think disclosure is becoming so important at this moment?
Disclosure as a collective, it will build community. It will build the family. It will build all of the groups of people that need to come together during this time. During this ascension that we spoke of earlier, disclosure will come through in bits and pieces. The bits and pieces that I talk about will mostly come through as an individual level. But while, as what we talked about earlier, sharing your experiences, by putting yourself out there and facing those fears and understanding those fears, those that actually do the work and actually are willing to face them and willing to help understand those programs, those are the people that will be willing to accept the changes that are to come. Right now, when it comes to disclosure, disclosure will happen through all of you in your own individual way. But as a collective, the collective way is to find your family, to find your community, to find all of those that are going to be able to give you the love that you seek, and also to find those that you will be able to love most. Everybody will be learning from one another. There's not going to be anybody further than one. Everyone is just going to the same place, just different paths. No one is going to be above the other. That's what community is for. That's what community is about. Loving by growing, loving by teaching, and loving by learning. All through love, you will get through your ascension as well, learning your own disclosure.
Thank you. Does anybody
Zeke,
else have?
Yeah, I have a question for Zeke. And Zeke, thank you for coming through this beautiful spirit that is Mark. What are your thoughts, Zeke, on this human obsession with an anthropomorphic God?
That is a very beautiful question. As we all know that our own way of perceiving God can all be very different. Everybody has their own way of looking at what God really is. As we all know, God is all of you. You are all part of God. We are all part of one source. So, in a sense, everybody that, in your words, obsessed over this God force, everybody has their own journey, as I mentioned before. And some people go through those types of journeys in order to understand their true self. There's no such thing as what is right or wrong due to your belief system. Everybody is going through their journey correctly. They just have to go through it individually, alone, individually alone, understanding their part, understanding what they are bringing to this collective. The only way you're going to do that is to understand what you feel, what you're going through due to your experiences that you have. People that are a little bit more obsessed with the God outlook of what they perceive, there's nothing wrong with looking into that type of a journey. That journey will help people expand their mind and get forms of truth. As we all know, truth comes in many ways. Once you start getting truth from some form of a concept of, let's use religion. When people use religion to get answers, it usually opens more doors than it does closing them. You get more questions than you do answers. And there's nothing wrong with that, because those questions are always opening more opportunities for the individual to learn and grow in their own way. They are following their spark. That spark is pulling them in that direction. As we all might look at one person and say, wow, why are they doing that? That does not make sense. But it does. It does make all the sense, because they are going through part of the journey that you chose not to. As we all are going to learn from one another, we get to see other people's journey as perfectly as what they were. Everyone's journeys are going to be different. So if you see someone that might be obsessing over God more than another person, maybe that is the beauty of what you guys are all experiencing. Maybe that is part of the beauty of what life is all about. You might learn from that person, however you may see it, whether it's a positive or negative perspective, you're still learning from them. You're learning what you may like or not like from them. You're learning through your triggers within yourself, watching someone else grow in that way. Everything is there as a lesson to grow. And at the end of it, you'll love yourself more, because you will then be able to align yourself in the path that is suitable to you as an individual. And other people might share their program with you. They might give you an experience in order for you to align yourself on what you see fit. Even with me, coming through Mark, talking with you, you might take this information and take it in a sense where maybe you might walk away from this experience by transforming your experience into a way that might help develop you in your ascension as your own individual. Maybe as a collective, as all of you have this experience and have this conversation, maybe you might all walk away with some form of truth or some form of a question that might open those opportunities for you. That is what this is all about. It is to play. It is to understand everybody's journey and to respect it where they are. Even though we may not agree with where they're at, it does not mean that they won't be exactly where you are at the end.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So I just want to say, if any of the audience, if any of them have any questions, if they want to write them in the comments, we'll be able to ask Zeke for them. Just to put that out there. So Zeke, I have a question. I hear a lot about not just extraterrestrials, but like the Galactic Council. And I feel the Galactic Council is not just extraterrestrial, but light beings of many different sorts. Is there any information that you could give us about that? About, as a collective, what kind of entities actually work together?
Use your imagination. Everything that you can think of is all part of this. There's many, many different beings that are all around in many different ways. Now, when it comes to the Galactic Council that you speak of, everyone is different beings. Everyone that ascended, everyone that is part of this, they're all there. There's many different forms of beings. They come from many galaxies. And to expand your mind further, also many universes. Just because you are all in just one universe with millions upon trillions of different galaxies that are out there, that is just one aspect. And that is just one puzzle piece. As you expand your mind and start growing, you start learning that there's much, much more out there. So when it comes to this Galactic Council you speak of, there are many different beings that are on there. They do come in light form, and they also sometimes come in physical form. Depending on your frequency, on where you are aligning yourself to speak to these beings, will determine exactly what kind of physical or non-physical being they are.
So in ascension then, does it depend on what stage you're at in ascension, at what type of consciousness connects with you?
Not necessarily. As we have to also understand that everybody individually are on their own journey. So therefore, if you want to speak as a collective, yes, to a degree, there are things happening where you can say that. But as an individual, you might have a different way to perceive this than mostly other people. Other people, as a collective, we are all trying to merge or move ourselves to this high frequency and high density that is coming to your Earth. As everything is starting to now bleed together in different dimensions and different forms that are happening in a multi-layered facet way that most of you guys don't see, or that most of you guys don't sense yet. As of right now, this ascension is going to bleed other forms and other realities into your reality. While we are all expanding in what you wanted to call levels, the levels that you may understand are just different forms of vibration. As you raise your vibration and your frequency, you are also tuning yourself into other forms of reality. And I'll say it in forms because, as you know, there are lots of layers that are happening among you. Right now, as you are sitting here and having this conversation, there are other layers that are around you. There's another dimension that is overlapping yours as of right now. there are beings that are probably walking among you, doing their life just how you are doing yours. And they are just vibrating in a frequency that you don't see them or feel them. Or maybe you do feel them. Maybe it comes through in a different form, in a different way. But all of those are happening right now, all at the same time, without you even realizing. And it's been happening your whole lives. But right now, where we are leading and going, some things are kind of bleeding in. Sometimes you're going to start seeing shadows. You're going to start seeing other forms, other entities, light beings. You are going to start seeing other forms of reality bleeding into this one because your consciousness is now rising. Your frequency and vibration is rising due to the information that you now have, because now the programs change due to the information that is given. And as the programs change, so does your reality, so does your belief system, so does everything, and so on. So, yes, we can agree to your statement, but only so far, because as an individual, not collective, it does change. And you can't then say that, because as individuals having different perspective, it no longer carries that weight.
So Zeke, what I'm hearing here is it's maybe is not as important that we all evolve towards the same thing, but we evolve in a many different variety way. We all express ourselves in many, many different ways, and that's really the goal here, that we all become, and not to be egotistical, but to be individuals with our own ideas, our own thoughts, our own creation, and that's what really makes the universe go around, and to put it in simple terms. Do you agree with that?
Well, yes, I agree to that. But here's the thing that most people usually tend to forget. Your ego, as you guys speak to ego as a bad thing, ego is part of your human body. It is part of your vessel. It is also part of your alignment when it comes to vibration and frequency. It is all part of you, the good and bad. Everything aligns. Everything is part of your alignment, ascension, frequency, and vibration. And yes, everything is happening in a multi-layered function way. Everyone is going through that. Everyone individually. No matter who you are, every human on this earth is going through it. Even those that don't even have souls in their body, they are still going through it, because they are all part of the program, the matrix, for you to gain or to have the experiences that you came here to have. But a lot of people didn't come here for the ascension. A lot of people didn't come here to raise their vibrations. A lot of people didn't come here to have these experiences with ET. And since those people are still living on that earth just with you, how does a whole collective be able to gain an experience such as this? We can't have this experience with everybody. So it's those that are tuning into it. Think of it almost like an entertainment industry. When you go and want to watch a show, you pick a platform, you pick a movie or a show, you pick something, but that's just you as an individual tuning into what you are wanting to watch, what you are wanting to feel during that moment. But not everybody individually will want to watch that show, will want to experience that movie or whatever entertainment that you chose. It's almost the same as life. A lot of people came here to choose a life, to choose experience, to come here to have on earth just as much as you. Their journey isn't lesser or more than yours. So everybody is living their lives in a multifaceted way. And that's the reason why. It's to be able to help everyone to freely live their lives as how they see fit. We can't necessarily come here and have a huge ascension collectively and force everybody to have an experience that they didn't come here to have. That is not an ET's point of view or their job to do. So we help by those that are tuning into that frequency and vibration. And to tune into that frequency and vibration is to allow the right programs to run and letting go of the ones that don't serve you in order for you to raise your vibration and frequency to that channel to have these experiences. So those that are seeking to have these forms of experiences will be the ones to have it. You just got to tune yourself into that frequency in order to have it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have one more question,
Zeke,
one more comment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just asking Zeke about the channel. Is the channel getting fatigued? Because I will keep this brief. What I'm hearing from you, what I've heard from you this 50 minutes is really affirming and reaffirming and confirming. What I'm hearing from you is that what is called for in our state of evolution is a radical acceptance, not only of difference, which is what Star Trek kind of talks about with diversity, but looking at life the way it is as opposed to the way we think it should be. Is that affirmative?
Yes, that is very affirmative. And I loved how you said those words. Very aligned with the way I see things and very aligned to the way most people in my perspective should see things. The world is exactly the way it's supposed to be. It's beauty. Everything has beauty. It just depends on what you want to focus.
Yeah.
As an individual, we are all coming here individually to gain that experience. Sometimes, those old sayings to smell the flowers, watch the bees, enjoy those small moments. That's what they are there for. During those small little moments, a one brief moment watching a bee buzz into the flower, when you really think about it and you really focus on that, it has a very beautiful, beautiful meaning behind that. Even though it might be very simple, and even though that it might have lasted for 5 or 10 seconds, those 5-10 seconds could have felt like a minute once you focus into the beauty of it. The earth is growing just as how everybody individual is growing. And just like how you mentioned, to radically shift your experience to allowing everybody to grow the way that they wanted to grow, accepting everybody and loving those on where they are in their journeys. We are not going to all get along in that manner. Even me as an ET, when I work among all of those that I do work with, we have arguments. We have disagreements. We also have a hard time trying to develop ourselves as a collective in our point of views. We are all challenged just the same, just with more weight to our choices due to the fact of what we are doing for work. But just like you also hold a lot when it comes to your choices as an individual. And with you being able to see the beauty and being able to word it that way, I too hope that everybody gets to walk away seeing the beauty of your life, regardless if there's others in it that's making it a challenge.
Yeah, I mean, there's information out there that I just wanted to say that I've come across, that perhaps this place called Earth is a melting pot of different vibrations and frequencies. And the experiment here is to see if they all get along and they all can thrive with one another. And if it works here, it's going to work other places.
Very well said.
Mm-hmm.
The very last part you mentioned is exactly why we are all here to help. But we can only help if it's asked.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Zeke. I would like to ask Mark to come back because we are almost out of time. Because we'd like to thank him and you for everything and all of your answers.
Yes, wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night. All right, you guys. That's all there is. Until next week. Thank you, Mark. How you feeling?
I feel okay. I'm very sweaty. I like drenched of sweat. I get always sweaty when I'm doing channeling. I feel good. I don't remember a lot of the stuff that I said, but I will watch the episode so I can get my memory back. I'm having a whole different experience on the other side. I got to see what he was talking about, but now I have to like put it together.
Well, thank you, brother. It was time well spent.
Yes. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Mark. We appreciate
Thank
it. And
Thanks for having me to do
All
that.
right. Everyone have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.